Welcome, may peace be unto you, boo boo. Thank you for coming through. I want to genuinely thank you for your time and your effort and your energy. I can sit and I can talk to myself, but it's more fun when you do it with other people. So it's so appreciated, and I'm grateful and all these good things. But let's get into it, because everybody thinks that, oh my god, carbs make them fat, and it's just like people go around and they think that, oh, let me deprive myself because carbs and this and carbs and that and my body this and my body that. And yeah, I honestly feel like it is about time everyone knows that it is nothing but a myth. It will forever be a myth. Carbs don't make you fat. The amount of time that you're spending eating and consuming and then some is the reason why you become fat. Carbohydrates hold energy within its structure and bond and chemical makeup, similar to the structure and bond of fat and protein. It holds energy, and we consume carbs to gain energy. So what runs in that will soon start to run in us, and that is the purpose of consumption. If you're not consuming for the purpose of energy, then is it for the purpose of pleasure? Is it for the purpose of boredom? Is it the purpose of or the reason of I'm a slave to my taste buds type of energy? Self-awareness, acceptance, and recognition, and those self-talks we all have to have with ourselves. So just letting you know, you're not alone. Red blood cells strictly depend on carbohydrates. Nerve cells strictly depend on carbohydrates. The brain strictly depends on carbohydrates, because when carbohydrates is converted into energy within the body, it is broken down into small little glucose molecules. And this helps to maintain and support physical activity and energy. And if our body is deprived of such and deprivation happens, blood sugar levels start to drop, and our skeletal muscle starts the process of dismantling. And we need our skeletal muscles because it allows humans to perform daily activities. It allows humans to move in the most basic ways or the most complex ways. You know what I'm saying? Being that it helps us move and stay vital, perpetuates our immune system and function, and preserves and maintains itself. With the addition of carbohydrates, it's definitely needed. With every one carb, you get 3 grams of water, right? And carbs in general help stimulate the protein synthesis process. So we are tackling many different factors and faucets when it comes to the vitality of life, function, and then some, right? And when energy is not used, it is stored. And remember, when it is stored, usually the 3 grams of water will go with it, right? So we have a lot of storage pockets, glycogen stores. Just know that these stores and this storage is limited. So you can convert some carb into fat, and you can convert carb and use it in fulfill your storage units with it, right? However, there's limited storage, but there's unlimited space for fat, if you see what I'm saying. When the storage spots is at max capacity, like some of the hottest clubs in New York or Atlanta, it will start converting it into fat, and you can find fat pockets anywhere on the body, so in general, or parts of the body that's able to hold fat, which way you try to swindle it. We have room, unlimited room outside of our actual body, so these are storage spaces that is ready to be used energy that's ready to be used whenever you feel like using it. So if I have some thickness on me and whatnot, and I have excess storage, you know, in that way, that'll be great because I can just use it to burn, you know, use the energy and have my body take it out of its stationary location. Carbs is the heart of genetic material. It is found within nucleic acid, that is also known as DNA and RNA. Sugars are in the base of that, so it's even in the base of the fundamental blocks that build us, and sugar is built into it. Elements of carbohydrate is built into it. So that's very interesting in itself. Microbes, something that we need for digestive absorption, brain function, immune function, mood, all these things feed on glucose. And microbes also produce neurotransmitters. Example one known as dopamine, a chemical closely associated with enjoyment, satisfaction, happiness, and whatever else that consists of that level of positivity that has to do with pleasure. So microbes feed and work with the body and feed on these carbs, feed on sugar, glucose, with an intake, a reasonable intake of carbohydrate. It can result in bacterial death. You can find carbs in the plant world. They're programmed to manufacture and store within the plant. And since the carbs house energy, we consume that energy, and that energy begins to run through us. So in turn, it's a cycle of recycled love, recycled positivity, and we can use that to our benefit. But anything in excess, that it comes too much to the body, can start to degrade the body. So it also brings in a conversation of how active are we? How active are we? Because for every 4 carbs, that is 1 calorie gained, right? So you can gain calories and calories, and you can have such an active life that the next day you won't see all the calories that you've gained. It's almost like when I was working 2 jobs, and I would start my days from 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock at night. That's on average days, right? On average, I would do on 14 hours. But I remember I would eat big meal, like, you know, in the afternoon and maybe at night. But I can assure you that I was working that off on my shifts, and I was able to stay literally the same size, maintain my weight, and maintain my metabolism because of how active I am. So it does not necessarily matter on what you eat. Sometimes it's how much you eat, and like how often, how many hours are you putting into consumption, and how many hours are you putting into activity. So everyone's body weight is different, everyone's height is different, everyone's fat to muscle ratio, all these things is different. But however, our body all works the same way. Some people may say, oh, I can't get as small as her, I'm just not built like that, blah blah blah. And it's like, there's many people that prove that those sayings wrong every day, because you may not have the same body frame. Everyone has their most fit self and their most unfit self. A lot of people teeter in the middle. So it's about recognizing where you teeter and accepting that. If you want to be your most fit self, how many calories do you intake a day? And then how often are you active during the week? Also important to note, a lot of our calories, carbs, and all this such comes from drinks, beverages. So hold on. Let me. Okay, so if I have 44 grams of carbohydrates, and for every 4 carbs is 1 calorie, that's like around 180, right? And this is just one small glass bottle of drink. Sometimes people get really, really thirsty and want a liter, want a pint, or whatever have you, and you're not understanding that along with your meal, you're ingesting so much more when it's not lemon water or tea or something of that nature. So I said all that to say, sometimes it's not always how much we eat, it's what we're drinking as well. So it's not that hard to boil a big pot, a gallon of water, put mad lemon, put mad lime in it, maybe some orange, you know, make it alkaline. Make it alkaline. At the end of the day, what you're doing is dramatically decreasing how much calories and how much carbs you take in. So you can eat your McDonald's meal sometimes, but if you drink water, oh, you're doing yourself due diligence and making a significant difference to how much carbs you would have taken in. Me, myself, I was able to balance out my body weight through just not having a habit of drinking juice all the time. Different juices contain fructose syrup, corn syrup. Basically, a lot of juices contain all these different types of synthesized sugars that can add to the imbalances that we're trying to combat. So you're doing yourself such a great help by chilling and refrigerating the teas and the waters and the clear liquids that you ingest and drink in. Having said that, I encourage activity. I encourage discipline. Like I said, it's easier said than done, but we're not trying to be a slave to our taste buds all our life, you know? So peace and blessings to you. If you can get down with the crown and you feeling this sound, like and subscribe to join my tribe. Share it because I know you care. Next video, I will see you there. And like I said, easier said than done, but listen, you're not alone. I'm human too. I love rice with oxtail gravy on it, but we don't have to talk about it because it's just going to make me want to go buy it. But anyway, love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Peace and wealth. We out.